Hey everybody. Uh, it's Tuesday, August 10th. Um, as you can see, I got a mask on. I'm actually at dialysis right now, which not sure if many of y'all know, but I am on dialysis. Which sorry, it's hard to hold my camera or my phone with one hand. So, but as you can see, that I'm sitting in the chair. You see the tubes right under my neck. Those actually have my blood coursing through them, as they would through my veins. So I sit here for 4 hours. This is where I spend a lot of my time learning stuff off of YouTube, reading articles about stuff, trying to learn new things. Because I have 4 hours of sitting around here doing absolutely nothing because I can't move. At least I can't move my arm very much to be productive, I guess, per se. But let me see if I can flip the camera around so you guys can see my arm and see the machine that does all the work my kidneys would normally do. So bear with me, it's going to be a little difficult, so it might get shaky, only because of the fact of having to do it with one hand. So just give me a moment, and I'm going to see if I can. I'm just going to flip this over. I'm using open camera on my phone, so it might skip a second. Give me just a minute. Like I said, it's going to get shaky because I have to do this with one hand. So as you see, it's getting shaky. So like I said, here we go. There goes my arm with the needles inside of it, with the tubes. And you see that they're red because they do have my blood coursing out of it and into the machine. And the tubes run, course, along my arm. And this is how they do it because the machine's on the other side. The tubes go across my chest, my shoulder. It's going to be hard to do the other side because, like I said, doing it one-handed, and I know it's really shaky, so I'm sorry. Hopefully I'm not causing anybody any motion sickness. And there you have the machine. That's the machine that continues to filter my blood, take all the toxins out, and take fluid out of my body. As you can probably see, it's working, it's doing its job. Mechanically doing what my body would naturally do if my kidneys were working. And like I said, I mean, family knows that I'm on dialysis, but I'm not really sure if everyone knows that I'm on dialysis. It sucks, but like I said about my amputations, I deal with it day by day. It does hurt when they do stick me with the needles. So I haven't gotten used to the pain yet, but it does hurt. Not very much. Just it's like if you were to get yourself stuck with a needle. That's what it is. So, but like I said, I sit here for 4 hours and talk to myself. So, aside from sitting here alone by myself for 4 hours straight, I get a lot of time to think about stuff. Think about things I took for granted, like walking, going to the bathroom, going to the kitchen, reaching up for things in high places. Because I was actually pretty tall. I was like 5'10", 5'11". And now I'm not, missing about a foot, literally 2 feet. But in total height, I'm probably missing about a foot or so. And then being bound into a wheelchair makes things a lot more difficult, as everyone can imagine. But I don't let that stuff get me down anymore. It did at first, and it was kind of hard to cope with everything. But with time, I got acclimated to it. I didn't. I still, don't get me wrong, I still have difficulty with things. But since I've learned to adapt, things have become easier. And they're, well, I wouldn't say easier, they're just, well, I've learned how to adjust, let's just say that. Don't get me wrong, I haven't adjusted to doing dialysis and doing things, or not doing anything for 4 hours straight, because I can't fall asleep here. That's what a lot of other patients do, is they'll come here and they'll go to sleep. I can't. To me, it's too bright in here, it's too noisy, the chair's uncomfortable, which anyone else on dialysis can attest to that. The chairs are not the greatest, but you know, they're bearable. They give you medications, like I just drank some medication right now. It's iron, liquid iron, where they can actually inject it into the lines under the machine. But believe it or not, I like the taste of the medicine. It's got some sort of like a strawberry taste to it, but it still tastes like medicine, because that's what it is. Sorry, I'm having to adjust my hand and it's getting shaky in here. But yeah, you know, due to COVID, we have to wear masks all the time, which I know it's not covering my nose because it's just because I'm talking, and it moves the mask down on my face. So let me see if I can use my other hand to kind of hold the camera a little bit with my wrist. And I'm going to adjust my mask. There we go. When I first started dialysis a few years back, it used to be you had to wear a mask only when they were hooking you up to the machine, which hooking you up to the machine is basically when they're inserting the needles in your skin into your fistula, or your access, as they call it. And once you were done, you could take the mask off. But due to COVID, DaVita, which is the company that I go to, it's called DaVita Dialysis in Greatwood. But the company abroad has changed their procedures, where, of course, they check your temperature, but a mask is required the whole time you're here for dialysis treatment. Like I said, not many people know that I was on dialysis, and if you do, you're fortunate to understand that. But as I'm not fortunate to be in that situation where I have to get dialysis, and I don't know if they've, I don't know, there's a lot of other videos that talk about dialysis, what it is, how it's performed, things like that, but I'm just making this to kind of show my experience. And I don't know if it's going to be informative, which I hope it is. But I know that it's something that I have to do. I have to do it. If not, the toxins would build up in my body. And my organs would start shutting down if I don't do it. And eventually, basically, I would either die of having too many toxins in my body or too much fluid, and I basically drown internally. But like I said, it sucks to be on dialysis at such a young age, but in essence, I brought this upon myself for not taking care of myself when I was younger. Being hard-headed, being naive about my disease of being diabetic. I always thought that I wouldn't get sick until I was in my 60s or 50s or 70s. But since starting with diabetes when I was 12 years old, it started at such a young age, the time frame is correct. It's just I started it early. Way early. And it's caught up to me. So basically it was me being irresponsible. If anybody who's watching this starts to feel any ailments or starts to unfortunately become diabetic as I, or have any condition or get any condition, whether congestive heart failure, the symptoms of heart failure, diabetes, high blood pressure, go get checked out. You need to, because those things can lead to something much worse. Much, much worse. And believe me, it's not fun sitting here. It's required. I have to do it. But it's not fun. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, you got 4 hours to do sleep, to learn something or hear something or something. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you got 4 hours to be in my own head or do something that could be productive. But when you're here, you don't really think about that. Just like me, I hate being hooked up to this machine because I can't do anything. Now, granted, I can't walk anyway, but when I could walk, I can't do anything. I couldn't. But just like everything else, I've learned how to adjust. So, anyway, that's my quote-unquote rant for today. Maybe I'll make another video after I get out of here. But sometimes I feel bad. I'll get headaches, cramps. Sometimes I'll be exhausted. I'll be really sleepy. I definitely get hungry. But yeah. Hopefully y'all get a semi-glimpse of a day at dialysis for me. I think I might make a follow-up of on Thursday or tomorrow, if I come in tomorrow. Just try to show how they hook me up so you guys can see it. I'll try to see if I can make one today of how they disconnect me. So we'll see. It depends on if I remember. Alright, y'all. I'm outie.